This film begins in 2016, when 47 South Korean criminals who had fled to the Philippines were finally caught and brought back to Korea by plane. But when the criminals arrived at the airport, tragedy struck. A man, desperate for revenge because he had lost family to one of the criminals, carried out a bombing. The explosion killed dozens of people, including himself. The story then jumps forward to 2022. This time, 20 South Korean criminals who had escaped to the Philippines are captured. To avoid a repeat of the airport disaster, the government decides not to fly them back but instead transport them by cargo ship from Manila to Busan. Unlike before, these prisoners are the most dangerous and notorious criminals, so the government assigns an elite police unit, trained and highly experienced, to escort them. Among the most infamous is Park Jong-do, a remorseless murderer who raped and killed 30 women. Instead of showing guilt, he acts arrogantly, even mocking the head of the police unit, Lee Suk-woo, and spitting in his face. Insulted, Suk-woo beats him down in front of the others to send a clear message not to underestimate the police. Back at Seoul Police Headquarters, a commando unit led by Dae-wong monitors and directs Suk-woo's team from a command center. On the ship, the criminals are locked 2 per cell with officers posted to guard each one. Suk-woo lays out the rules for the voyage, but most of the prisoners mock him and push back. One, however, a man named Do-il, remains silent and calm, giving off an air of mystery. Among the prisoners are also women. One of them, Choi Myung-ju, murdered her husband and in-laws. She and the other female criminals are placed under the watch of policewoman Lee De-yeon. Meanwhile, a doctor named Kyung-ho has been assigned to the mission to handle any medical emergencies. He's assisted by a nurse, Yoon-ji, who is visibly uneasy about being stuck on the cargo ship. Though he appears professional, Kyung-ho secretly smuggled in medical supplies and drugs that aren't standard for a ship's doctor. The officers also rely on a kitchen crew to prepare meals for the prisoners and police. While everything seems normal, Kyung-ho sneaks into the engine room with his medical bag. His secret mission, to keep a dangerous prisoner, codenamed Alpha, sedated throughout the voyage. Unknown to Suk-woo and his team, Alpha is a special case, hidden aboard under orders from Dae-wong. Alpha is not just another criminal, he's a military prisoner, and Dae-wong has his own classified reasons for concealing his presence. That night, Jong-do puts a plan into motion. He retrieves a small wire he had hidden under his tongue and uses it to unlock his handcuffs, then passes it to his cellmate to free him too. At the same time, the ship's cooks are revealed to be imposters, Jong-do's men who had killed the real kitchen staff and taken their places. Ruthless killers themselves, they infiltrate the ship to stage a breakout. Around midnight, the imposters strike, ambushing 2 police guards and butchering them before stuffing their bodies into the walk-in refrigerator. They storm the control room next, slaughtering the ship's crew and cutting off all communications so no distress signals can reach Dae-wong's command center. Jong-do lures a guard into his cell, then savagely beats him before his men arrive to finish off the other officers. The criminals are freed and blood fills the hallways. Suk-woo rallies his team, including De-yeon, and charges toward the chaos. They clash with Jong-do's men in a brutal firefight inside the control room. After a tense battle, Suk-woo and De-yeon manage to take out the imposters. De-yeon questions a surviving crew member, who tells her there's still a satellite phone in the engine room that can be used for emergencies. Meanwhile, Do-il urges Jong-do to stop before things spiral further, but Jong-do ignores him, obsessed with seizing control of the ship. In the infirmary, Kyung-ho and Yoon-ji lock themselves inside, hoping to stay out of the violence. Jong-do storms the engine room, destroys the satellite phone, and murders the crew. As he prepares to kill the last surviving worker, Suk-woo's team arrives and another fierce battle breaks out. But something far worse is about to happen. In the walk-in fridge where the murdered officers' bodies are stored, blood drips through a leaking pipe into Alpha's chamber below. The droplets splash onto his face, and despite the heavy drugs, Alpha awakens. Alpha breaks free, and when he steps into view, it's a nightmare. Even though his eyes are sewn shut with wire, his heightened senses allow him to detect body heat and scent. Faster, stronger, and more lethal than any normal human, he tears through one of the criminals in seconds. Panic spreads. Jong-do flees in terror, firing wildly at anything that moves. Hey everyone! If you're enjoying the videos and want to keep seeing more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We're on an exciting journey to reach our first 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you can help make it happen. Your support means the world to me, and it's what keeps this channel going strong. So smash that subscribe button, join the family, and let's reach this milestone together. Alpha hunts down his men with brutal precision, tearing them apart. Zhang Du, who has slaughtered countless innocents himself, finds himself hopeless against Alpha's inhuman strength. The fight ends gruesomely with Alpha killing him in a horrific fashion. Sukwu de Yun Duil and a surviving prisoner named Su Cole barely manage to escape. Duil briefly engages Alpha, sacrificing himself to buy the others time. The group rushes through an automatic steel door, which slams shut just before Alpha can reach them. Back at the command center, Day Wong studies satellite images, trying to piece together what went wrong after all communications from the cargo ship suddenly went dark. Day Wong is horrified when he discovers the bloody massacre on the ship and realizes that some of the criminals have managed to escape from their cells. At that moment he gets a call from a man known only as the CEO. The CEO already seems aware of what happened on the ship and orders Day Wong to clean up the mess. Strangely, this mysterious man has a number engraved on his chest, just like Alpha. It becomes clear that he shares the same background as Alpha, and he specifically demands that Day Wong bring Alpha to him. Back on the cargo ship, 2 surviving crew members attempt to escape in a lifeboat, but Alpha quickly tracks them down and kills them both in brutal fashion. Meanwhile, Yoon-ji, who is in the infirmary, accidentally spots Alpha through the cabin window. Unfortunately, Alpha notices her immediately, smashes through the window and kills her with his bare hands. Terrified, Kyung-ho bolts from the cabin and runs until he finally encounters Sukwu and the others. Under pressure from Sukwu, Kyung-ho admits that he was paid to inject Alpha with drugs meant to keep him sedated during the trip. However, he has no idea why Alpha suddenly woke up and began the massacre. Hearing this, Sukwu orders Diyun and the others to hide somewhere safe while he searches for more survivors. In another part of the ship, Koen-bae and Myung-ju reunite with the other criminals after overpowering the police guards. Before they can plan their next move, Alpha suddenly shows up and attacks them without mercy. Though they barely survive the initial onslaught, they try to escape by using the elevator. But Alpha easily pursues them by climbing onto the ceiling of the elevator shaft and opening fire. Sukwu arrives just in time to save Myung-ju, pulling her from the elevator. Koen-bae isn't as lucky. The cable snaps, sending the elevator plummeting to the bottom and killing him instantly. Sukwu hopes Alpha went down with it, but his hopes are crushed when Alpha climbs back up the wall, completely unharmed. Sukwu quickly hides Myung-ju inside a walk-in refrigerator before preparing to face Alpha himself. Even though he knows he doesn't stand a chance, Sukwu fights bravely, managing to injure Alpha's right arm. But ultimately, Alpha kills him in a savage display of strength. Myung-ju, watching helplessly, decides to fake her death by blending in with the corpses inside the refrigerator. When Alpha storms in, he doesn't realize she's alive and eventually leaves her. Elsewhere, Doyle and his team finally reach the area where Alpha had been imprisoned and uncover documents about his background. They learn that Alpha was originally a soldier from 1943, sent to the Philippines during World War II. He and his comrades were captured by Japanese forces and used as test subjects in a secret project aimed at creating superhuman soldiers for warfare. Kyung-ho digs deeper into the files and finds that Alpha possesses strength and speed far beyond human limits, with heightened sensitivity to sound and the scent of blood. Even more terrifying, his body does not age at the cellular level, meaning he is essentially immortal. A flashback reveals that after Japanese officials celebrated their apparent success with the experiment, Alpha suddenly broke free and massacred everyone involved. Dae Wong arrives at the cargo ship with a squad of elite operatives from a secret organization. Before engaging Alpha, they inject themselves with a serum designed to boost their physical abilities. On board, Dae Wong encounters Myung-ju, but instead of helping her, he coldly kills her. His real mission is to capture Alpha, and he won't let anything get in his way. Dae Wong's ruthlessness doesn't stop there. He also kills Diyun and the others, leaving only Duil alive. It's revealed that Dae Wong and Duil share a connection. Duil was once an experimental subject himself, bearing the same engraved number as Alpha and the CEO. Duil explains that he intentionally allowed himself to be captured in order to return to South Korea and take revenge on Dae Wong and the secret organization that experimented on him. Years ago, Duil and several others had been kidnapped for Project Wolf hunting. The experiment was considered a failure when the subjects were declared dead. However, Duil shocked everyone when he revived, proving the procedure had actually succeeded. After escaping, Duil tried to live a normal life, marrying the woman he loved and raising a son. But Dae Wong and his organization discovered he was alive and came after him. They murdered his wife and supposedly killed his child as well, driving Duil to disguise himself as a criminal to infiltrate the ship and get close enough to strike back. When Duael confronts Dae Wong, their fight is interrupted by Alpha, who charges in and slaughters the elite operatives with ease. However, Dae Wong, powered by the serum, proves to be more than a match for Alpha. For the first time, Alpha appears to be outmatched, and Dae Wong eventually defeats him. The battle then continues between Dae Wong and Duael. Even though Dae Wong is stronger, Duael refuses to give up. Fighting with sheer determination, he manages to corner Dae Wong, and in a final desperate move, he tackles him into the sea. Meanwhile, the truth about the CEO is finally revealed. He was also one of the experimental subjects captured by the Japanese in 1943, just like Alpha. However, unlike Alpha, he managed to survive and build a secret organization dedicated to continuing the superhuman experiments. One of those subjects turned out to be Duael himself. At his headquarters, the CEO is seen speaking with a young boy who is revealed to be Duael's son, still alive and being held captive. The boy carries his father's superhuman gene, making him the first naturally born superhuman who doesn't need the serum to enhance his abilities. The film closes with Duael surviving his plunge into the sea. Exhausted but alive, he swims to shore, vowing to continue his quest for vengeance and destroy the secret organization responsible for the death of his family. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy deep dive recaps like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment and let us know which movie you'd love to see next.